Hello, welcome back to another video. It's Nepali Gaming here. Today's video is a weapon showcase on the Blasphemous blade. It's a very famous weapon in Elden Ring. A lot of people know it, a lot of people love it. It's considered one of the best weapons, if not the best weapon in the game. I am just referring to the base game, not to any weapons found in Shadow of the Haligtree or Night Rain. This video might be kind of dated, considering Elden Ring is pretty old at this point, but I wanted to make it anyway. The way you get this weapon is by going to Mount Gelmir, where you can find Rykard, the Lord of Blasphemy. And once you defeat him, he's a giant snake monster. Once you defeat him, you get a remembrance of the Blasphemous, and you can take that to the Round Table Hold and buy the weapon from the old hags, crones, ladies. I'm putting an image of him on screen right now, and he's a giant snake man with he's holding the weapon, the Blasphemous blade, in the image. And this isn't a tutorial on how to get the weapon, but I'm letting you know to get to Rykard, you first need to defeat the Godskin Noble, and he's a pretty annoying fight. He's just this fat guy in a robe, but in my first playthrough I had more trouble with him than I did with Rykard. So back to the weapon, the Blasphemous blade. It's one of the most overpowered weapons in the base game. And the reason for that is its weapon skill, Taker's Flame, which is an AoE fire attack. It has a pretty cool visual. And the reason it's so broken is because it heals you a lot every time you use it, every time you hit an enemy. So every time you land the weapon skill on an enemy, it'll heal you for 10% of your max HP and an additional 150 HP per hit. So obviously it has a mana cost. Most of the good weapon skills do. The mana cost isn't that much though. It's 30. The mana cost or FP cost is 30, which is really not that bad. You don't have to level up your mind stat, because the base mana amount is enough to efficiently use the weapon. It's also definitely worth mentioning, the weapon skill does AoE damage, and as I said, it heals for every time you hit an enemy. So it's amazing for dealing with large groups of weaker enemies. There are a lot of situations where you can one-shot entire hordes of enemies, and it'll heal your entire health bar, which is really good. I'm putting up the actual weapon stats on screen right now. You'll need 22 strength, 15 dex, and 21 faith as a minimum requirement to use your weapon. You probably won't be able to get that in the early game, but it's honestly not that bad. It's also worth mentioning that I keep saying worth mentioning, you can two-hand the weapon, which will boost your strength stat by 50%. Now make meeting the requirements easier. It also works well with faith-based magic, so there's a lot of good magic builds you can use with the sword. So until I looked up the sword wiki page, I had kind of forgotten that it has a passive that heals you for 4% of your HP with an additional 40 HP every time you kill an enemy. And this does stack if you have two of these weapons and try to dual wield them. That's pretty cool and makes it pretty viable. If for some reason you want to use a weapon without using the weapon skill, you can still get a lot out of it, since you can just heal yourself every time you kill an enemy. And the damage it does is still pretty good even without the weapon skill. Also, since it's a great sword, it does a lot of poise damage, which means it can knock down enemies easier. So if you want to take full advantage of the poise break stat, if you're fighting a boss that you want to knock down, I would recommend using heavy attacks with the great sword to break poise, if poise breaking is the strat you want to go with for that boss. But usually I think you would just use the weapon skill, since it is the big thing, the big reason to use the weapon.